If you wake up and your low back feels really tight, super stiff, or just overly sensitive, stop doing all the stretches you're doing now and replace it with this very simple 4-step mobility routine. If you want to take this morning mobility routine to the next level, be sure to download my disc bulge daily routine that involves exercises to help heal disc herniations or disc bulge in this lumbar area. You can go to the link in the description box below this video, or just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine, download it, use it, thank me later. The most important step in understanding morning back pain is why we have it in the first place. In order for this routine to work, you have to understand the science behind what is going on in causing your morning back pain to begin with. Let's first start with understanding why we have morning back pain to begin with. There's a lot of factors, but the first simple one to talk about is how our discs fill with fluid as we sleep. So you are laying down on your back, you're sleeping maybe 6, 7, 8 hours a night, and then your discs are filling with fluid. They rehydrate. So when you wake up, there's more pressure going on in this space. So if you have bulges, herniations, any kind of joint issues back here, it's going to be more dominant in the morning because there is so much more pressure in this area. The second reason is your central nervous system is kind of more in a protective state as you sleep. You're still, you're really not moving. So if you've been in chronic low back pain for years and years and years, the first thing that happens when you wake up is your central nervous system says, oh no, we have to protect, we have to guard, we have to stiffen around this lumbar spine area. So when you wake up, the first thing that you want to do is get moving, but the first thing your central nervous system wants to do is say, hey, you know what, let's take it easy, let's be careful, cautious. We got a lot of damage going on and we don't want to make it any worse, which leads to muscle guarding. You're doing all that you can to protect and guard as you flip over and get out of bed, and this tension, this tightness in the low back is creating a lack of movement ability in this area. So when you try to pair movement, morning movement, with stiff, guarded, protective, overstimulated central nervous system, it's a recipe for guaranteed morning back pain. So to fix this is what you want to do. First off, eliminate as much guarding as possible as you move and get out of bed, because we're not going to start the mobility routine in bed. We're going to start with movement. So when you flip over, I want you to exhale as you roll over, and then I want you to exhale as you get out of bed. What you don't want to do is you wake up and you go into protection mode and get super stiff, trying to get up and out of bed and walking to the bathroom under protection, under guarding and tension. We want to breathe every time you move to get out of bed. Exhale when you go to step up and get out of the bed to be on your feet and move towards the bathroom. You want to exhale, breathe out as you introduce different stages of movement, and your body will relax during that time. Now that we're up, let's move towards a quick 5 to 10 minute walk. What I want you to do is either go on a treadmill, go outside, go in your backyard, go on your deck, your front porch, your driveway, wherever you have to walk. Take 5 to 10 minutes and do a nice warm-up walk. So you're starting your day with breathing, relaxing, and a gentle walk that you can do two very important things. For one, you're going to make sure you have a good pace to your walk. Now you can go longer than 10 minutes. It all depends on how much time you have. What you want to do is keep that pace going while you're focusing on breathing, relaxing, and letting go of any tension that may have followed you from that bed. The second thing I want you to do during this walk is walk backwards. You can even walk sideways. I want you to give some variety to your body, not just walking forwards, because if you've been walking for a long time and you still have pain, guess what? Your body is not going to feel safe doing the same thing your body has always created pain doing. So if walking is a painful activity, experiment with different types of walking. A great way of experimenting with different types of walking is simply walking backwards for short periods of time during that 10 or 15 or 20 minute walk that you're doing. Don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. For every 5 minutes that you walk forwards, turn around and walk backwards for 30 seconds to a minute. Experiment with what works best for you and do that. Now let's make our way back to the bedroom. What I like to start off the morning with is a simple 90-90 breathing exercise. Now, what I'm gonna do here is have my feet up onto a chair, my hips are at 90 and my knees are at 90, and I'm focusing on breathing into my low back. I'm gonna do that for 1 to 2 minutes. Then I'm gonna swap it out with some pelvic tilting. Now, there's a level up we're gonna do with this pelvic tilting. Not only are you going to tilt forward and back with every very slow, relaxing breath, but you're going to shift your right hip and your left hip as well. So what you can do, if you're gonna do it for 3 to 4 minutes, spend 2 minutes or so doing the pelvic rocks forward and back. Then I want you to do a minute or 2 of side to side pelvic rocks. So essentially you're lifting your right hip up and you're trying to drop your opposite hip down, and vice versa. You're gonna lift up your left hip and drop your right hip down. So you're shifting from side to side and then also going forward to back. Key thing here is breathing, relaxing, letting go of tension, letting go of muscle guarding. You're trying to introduce movements in different planes of motion that feel safe. Now, if the 90-90 position does not feel good to you, you can do this in a side lying or fetal position as well. Get your hips and knees at a 90 degree. If it's too much to get under the floor, you can do this on a bed, but you're going to essentially do the same thing. Get comfortable. You're going to start with some deep breathing for 2 to 3 minutes. And then the second exercise, you'll do pelvic tilting for 1 to 2 minutes. And then you can add that side lifting or those side tilts, right and left side, both equally for the remaining time that you want to do. Let's finish the morning mobility routine up with some simple cat-cow circles. What we're gonna do is combine 2 different major things, the cat-cow movement with the hip circle exercise. We're gonna combine these 2 things together and create a very enjoyable, relaxing, low back friendly movement mobility routine. Now, to do this, get on all fours and you're gonna simply first get used to the cat-cow position. Do it a couple times, and then I want you to think about creating a circle motion in the hips. You're almost like you're gyrating your lower back or your hips. It should be very gentle, almost like you're trying to think of it like jump roping, right? If you were to be doing the double Dutch, I think it's called, where you have one person on one end, the other person on the other end, and you're jumping and the rope's going like this. You're trying to create a spiral effect with your low body while you're doing the cat-cow. So as you're going up, you're rotating out, going up into that cat position, and you're coming down to the cow position as if you were doing this circle. You're trying to create this circle effect with your body. Now you can kind of see the demo of me doing it here. It's simple once you get the motion down. So go really, really slow, and you can break it up into just a cat-cow, see how well you can do that, and then do the circle effect with the hips, see how well you can do that by itself, and then combine these 2 things together to create the cat-cow circles. This feels amazing on the low back at this point in your process. Remember to focus on relaxing, releasing any kind of muscle guarding, any tension, breathing through this exercise. We're not trying to stretch or regain some kind of range of motion. We're simply trying to get the blood flow, get the body moving in a safe way. Now, if you have a history of trying things like this, and it might remove some of the pain temporarily, but you're always faced with it the next day, or you find yourself dealing with flare-ups down the road, you may need a more personalized approach for a long-term solution rather than simply just chasing symptoms with exercises like this. If that's you and you're tired of trying to figure it out yourself, you've tried all the medical model routines of stretches, injections, surgeries, medication, whatever it else is that you've tried, and you're looking for a different approach, book a free relief strategy call with me. We can discuss where you're at now, what you've tried to do for your back, and what you might be missing that's keeping you from seeing lasting relief. All you gotta do is grab a time for us to chat. You can go to the link below this video here, or go to fitnessforbackpain.com/apply. Fill out a little bit of information about your situation, grab a time for us to chat, and I'll see you there.